This is Sergeant First Class Kuntz, and we're going to talk about S316 contemporary issues. The questions you want to make sure you're asking yourself is, what does the term contemporary issue mean to you? Contemporary issues can be anything international, they could be domestic. There are possible contemporary issues that you're going to come up with within your leadership positions. And you want to make sure that you are constantly prepared for those contemporary issues. This is S316 contemporary issues. At the end of this lesson, learners will present contemporary issues in our Army. As a result, learners will be able to articulate a given topic related to a mission accomplishment. Our TLO, we're going to analyze contemporary issues affecting the military. As a learner attending the SLC NCOC3, acting as a platoon sergeant, given organizational level leadership perspective in a classroom environment, you'll have references, activities, and classroom discussions. What we're going to do is make sure we analyze or build an analysis which includes contemporary issues in our Army. Now, when we talk about contemporary issues, we want to make sure that we understand there's three facets to each one of the issues. And if you think about contemporary issues, we'll just use one as an example in our military. We'll throw a tough one out there of transgenders in the military. Now, it's easy to form an opinion on that right away, but to ensure that you are prepared to communicate about this issue, you must first make sure you're doing the investigation, the analyzation, and come up with best practices to better understand that contemporary issue. So my question to you is, where would you find some of these current issues affecting the military? I mean, there's a ton of them if you think about it. Some of the different sources is in Army doctrine, newsletters, CALL, the Center for Army Lessons Learned, Red Diamond, OE Watch. These are all different areas. One of the questions you might ask is, or might be thinking is, why, or what areas wouldn't you look at? I would stay away from things like Wikipedia, stay off of Facebook, any other social media to help you really investigate your contemporary issues, because you're not going to get all of the data. So what effects can you have in the development of best practices to implement into your organization? So if this issue comes to your organization, you have to think of some best practices to deal with this issue. To do that, I can't stress this enough, Sergeant, you have to make sure you're educated with this issue. Don't come to a jump conclusion, and you have to take your emotions out of the equation completely to deal with this. So one of the things we want to make sure that we're doing is, when we take it home with you, is how can you identify a contemporary issue in your organization? And when you ask yourself that question, how can you do that? How can you identify that contemporary issue? And we will be discussing this when we meet up in our next classroom. How will you analyze the cause and effects of your organization's issue? And then the final part of it, what is the best practice? So in summary, we talked about analyzing contemporary issues affecting the military. And when we discuss this, I'm going to ask you about some of the issues that you're having in your units. Sergeants, again, this is S316 contemporary issues. Go on and take a look at the contemporary issues assignment, finish that up, and send it via email.